Avi, how are you? Avi is our first speaker. He's just joined us. Woo! Avi's calling from Barcelona, by the way. He's so cool. We met on Instagram, and he's such a light, and just like, he's really amazing. He helps people like figure out what they're supposed to do on this earth, and it's so awesome. I'm just like, I'm jealous. I'm like, why can't I do that now? How are you, Avi?
Great. Thank you so much for that intro. That's so
Of
sweet of you.
course.
How are you? How's everything?
Yeah, it's good. It's been a crazy week because I was in like these, it's a kind of like personal development trainings that I just had been wanting to do. You know, when you like see that thing, like this summit or whatever it is, the thing that you want to do, and you're like, okay, I'm just going to sign up. Like, who cares? That was me. And they were like 12-hour trainings. So yeah, I'm feeling very calm because it did center me, but at the same time, a little tired of the computer. But this is energizing. And I was just actually chatting with Trinity. She's calling us from Seattle. I love that she's putting her video on. I asked if everybody can put their video on, that would be.
Hey, Trinity, how's it going?
She was telling us, why she feels the calling to live abroad. Have you traveled abroad yet, Trinity?
I've been to Thailand and I've been to Guam, and on the way back from Guam, we went through Japan, and I've been to Canada. I've been to Hawaii. I've been in Seattle, and I've been to most of the states, Alaska. I got the email and was like, you know what? Am I sitting on my butt? Kind of. Yeah, I'll show up.
It's like, what else are you doing on a Saturday, right?
I'm awake.
I love that, but that's so cool. See, that's what I love about this is like you've already kind of like sparked your interest because you've done those travels, like Thailand. It's probably really humbling, right? Like, what was your experience, Trinity?
I was visiting my partner's sister who worked at an international school, and she had she had taught in Shanghai for a while and done the whole like slumming experience. And then by the time she was in Thailand, she was doing quite well for herself. So it was a pretty luxe experience, if I'm honest, which was really cool to be able to see our culture from the outside, because there were so many things that I didn't realize were weird about us until we got there. And it's like, yes, this is weird. And actually we're weird too.
No, I totally get you. Oh, wow. Thank you for sharing. And thanks to everybody else who just jumped on. I see you, Lynn, James, Damiano. Feel free to put your video on so that we're actually here. That's kind of like I have it as a ground rule, but if you really don't feel comfortable, it's okay. But just to kind of make it, a more real experience. And Avi's going to be our first speaker. I'm so excited. Avi, how's your day going so far?
It's incredible. It's Saturday. It's a really nice day, and I'm so stoked about this. Honestly, I'm so stoked. I mean, even if we inspire one person to pack their bags and leave and move overseas now, like it says in the back of your banner. I mean, even if we inspire one person, we've done our job today. Like that's just so satisfying to know that we can do that today, and we're gonna spread a positive ripple and inspire people to take action on their dreams. So that's.
Oh, I love that. Yes, that's so cool. Well, Avi, tell everybody where you're calling from.
Well, I'm calling from Barcelona right now. This is where I live now with my boyfriend and our cute little dog, who is about here somewhere.
You have to introduce us.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him to come in at the end and wave his little paw. But yeah, yeah, he's very cute, and that's where I am right now. Came back from Gran Canaria, and that's my hometown.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have heard of that. It's a little
Canary Islands.
Yes, correct. It's a beautiful island in the south of Spain, and also very, very nice for digital nomads. It's booming a lot for that, so totally recommend that if you guys want to have great weather, great sunshine, great food, great people, just a really good vibe.
Nice. Love it. Yeah, I don't want to go too much into it because we still have 9 minutes until showtime, but thank you for sharing. And let's see. I wonder if anybody else wants to say hello. Lynn, Damiano, James, Pam, Eric. Tell us where you're calling from, what you're excited about. If they're here, they might be, you know, scrambling, going to the restroom or whatever. Well, okay. So what else, Trinity? So like Trinity, do you have in mind like when you want to go?
Booked a flight to Thailand. I keep on the subscription list for all of these like discount flights. And so whenever there's like a really good deal that comes up, I'll book a flight. And then if I'm not able to make it, like COVID happened, I have this flight credit sitting. So as long as I go to Thailand at some point,
Oh yeah.
so that's like kind of the top of my list. And then there was another synchronicity that had happened, was that a friend of a friend was like, oh, I'm going to Thailand next week. And I was like, could I go to Thailand next week? Like, could I make that happen? Like, I've been there before. Do you need a guide? Like, I know some pretty cool places. And like, and I've rubbed shoulders with some cool people. I don't know if they would remember me. It's been a few years, but like, you know, you hit up the people that you were there once upon a time with and see if they want to grab a cup of coffee. And I feel like the synchronicities and the magic of the traveling lifestyle is like what's so appealing.
Oh yeah. And just that you have like that curiosity, and that's like one of the things I wanted to like touch on is like everybody that's here, the reason why they're here is because they're curious, and nothing is possible if you're not curious about exploring, whether that's, you know, Avi with his clients, like he helps people achieve their dreams. And it's the same thing with like anything we want to create in life. We have to be curious first and then take action. So I think it's awesome that you guys are all here. I see people starting to trickle in. Hi, Amy. Hi, is it Thibaut? Thibaut. Nice to meet you. I'm Shauna. This is Avi.
Hey, hello.
Thanks for coming on camera. Yeah, we encourage it. We want you guys to be fully present, so that you can, you know, it's kind of like whenever COVID happened, we're all kind of like, oh, I'll just be in the background, right? And we haven't been doing like live, real like face-to-face events. So we kind of want to make it so that, you know, we can see you guys. If you're totally uncomfortable with it, we totally get it. But just so, you know, puts you in the present, puts us in the present, we can see you. And thanks for being here. Where are you calling from, Thibaut?
I'm calling from Barcelona.
Oh, Avi too.
He's actually my incredible boyfriend.
Oh my gosh. Amazing.
Being super supportive and joining our virtual summit to be part of it. And,
yeah, very excited.
And where are you from, Thibaut?
I am from Belgium, from Antwerp. Yeah, but living here already for 12 years and it's fantastic.
Wow. I love Belgium. Well, I've been to Belgium before. Can you guess where I went?
Brussels, probably?
No, the second guess.
Bruges.
No, Tomorrowland.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone does. Yeah.
Everyone does
Fantastic,
that, right?
huh?
In Belgium.
Yeah.
And what's
it's
the
the best
difference?
festival.
What would you say the differences are between Spain or Barcelona and Belgium? What are the main differences you would say?
Oof, yeah, there are a lot, but I would say that people here in Spain, they enjoy life much more. They have a better quality of life. Yeah, so you have the beach, you have the mountains, people go out in weekends, people relax more, people they just really enjoy life.
Do you agree, Avi?
Oh, completely. I mean, I haven't been to Belgium besides Tomorrowland as well, which is an incredible festival. We're going to Belgium next weekend, so I'll tell you after that. If anyone's curious to know the differences in culture, we're going to be there meeting Thibaut's incredible family, which is a big family. I think there are like 40 people in there or something, but it should be fun. I think Spain, you've lived in Barcelona yourself. It's a really warm country. It's a very inviting, warm country. The cultures around drinking, dancing, having a good time. Life is leisure here more than work.
And that's what I love about Barcelona is it's a main city. Like, you know, it's lots of buildings, lots going on, people running around, but it's calm at the same time. Like it could seem chaotic, but it's not. And they respect, you know, the siesta time. I remember I used to go after the corporate job that I worked at. I would go to this park and just lay there, look at the parrots, and I would see, I was at the La Zona Alta, you know, the top part of the city.
They're close to Tibidabo or
Close to
Sarriá?
Tibidabo at the top of the mountain. And I'd go up there and I'd go to the park and eat my lunch, and I wouldn't really take a nap, but I would just sit there and I would just like look at the parrots, look at the sea, ponder. It was wonderful. I never had experienced that before coming from the US, you know?
And you're connecting from LA, aren't you?
Yes, I'm connecting from LA. Welcome to everybody who's joining. We're about to start in 2 minutes till showtime. And I think we should start with kind of like, well, I just want to welcome everybody to the summit. I'm so happy you guys are here. I really feel you guys took a chance on yourself. The reason why you're here is because you're curious. Something was sparked when you saw this invitation. And I'm just asking you to explore that. Like, instead of curl up in the ball of, you know, maybe we haven't traveled, maybe we have, and we're like, something's holding us back. That's not, what is that thing that we need to break through to actually go do it again? And what's your why? Like, is it because you want to, if people could drop in the chat and tell us, like, why are you here? Why is this calling to you? Why is living abroad calling to you? And if everybody can, kind of like ground rules, if everybody can be muted when I have the expert up here in the spotlight, we're gonna open it up at the end. At the end of each interview, there's gonna be 5 minutes for Q&A. So please go all in, raise your hand. Let's stick to like one question a person, just so like we can make sure everybody gets a chance. If you have a question, drop it in the chat. First, please tell me in the chat, like, why are you here? I'd love to know, and where you're calling from. Go ahead and tell us the city that you're calling from. I'll put mine. It's Los Angeles, California, but I used to live in Barcelona, so I'll put both of them. We actually still have our apartment in Barcelona. We're going to go back very soon. So go ahead. Yep, I'm seeing a lot of people. Hi, everybody. So I'm going to also drop, if you can't, another piece of housekeeping. If you guys can come on video, that would be amazing. I would love to see all of you guys. Let's pretend like this is a live event, a real like in-person event. If you have to leave early, there's going to be a lot of cool speakers. I mean, Avi is amazing, and I'm really excited that he's opening this up for us. We're going to be talking other things like property investment, budgeting, how to actually achieve your dreams. How can you start a business? Maybe some of you have a business. We're going to be talking like how bringing that business abroad. Maybe you want a digital nomad. We have experts that are coming that are specifically digital nomads. They literally travel around the world all the time, and they go from country to country. And we're going to have people like that. We're going to have people that are older. They are at that retirement age, and they're going to be chatting a little bit about that. We're going to have people that are chatting about healthcare. We're going to be chatting about, you know, all of the technicalities too, like visa stuff. Like, what are your different options? It's going to really open up your mind. So I just ask you guys to be present. Thanks for coming on video. If you guys want to upgrade to get the replays, I'm dropping it in the chat. So you can get unlimited replays for life. You'll also be invited for all the VIPs, the people that are already upgraded. You will have a 30-minute exclusive Q&A time at the end of the summit each day. So the last 30 minutes, when you upgrade, you will have time with me to ask any question in those last 30 minutes. I'm sending that to your email, but it's a separate Zoom room. And then you'll also get a 1-hour strategy call with me. And you'll also get access to a 3-day plan your new life abroad workshop that we're having next week. So that's going to really dive into like, okay, you came to the summit, you're like, you sparked your interest, but now let's go deeper and like actually make this happen for you in the next 12 months. Okay, so I'd like to introduce Avi. Thank you so much for joining us, Avi. Avi is a life and creative coach. And the title of our talk is Transform and Live Abroad, because Avi is like, he's done so much transformation himself. and he's lived in different countries, and he really knows what it takes to really live in your purpose and actually go do the things that you say you're going to do. So Avi, I'd like to introduce you. Welcome, and tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Awesome. First of all, thank you so much for having me. I think it's incredible to open this summit with you. And I think the idea behind the summit is just so powerful. Like I said earlier, if we can inspire just one person to take action, pack their bags and move and truly feel worthy of living the best life for themselves, then let's do it. Let's create that together today. My name is Avi. I have Indian roots, and I was born and brought up in Gran Canaria, the beautiful island in the south of Spain. But to say that I was born and raised in Gran Canaria would not do justice. I think I'm a citizen, like for so many of us, I'm a citizen of the world. I've had the privilege, thanks to my family and thanks to my life, to travel around the world. Well, that's India, live in Dubai, San Sebastian, London, now Barcelona with my beautiful, incredible boyfriend and our cute little dog. And I think it's one of the most enriching experiences you can have to travel. It really opens you up as a person. It really expands your mindset. And as a life and creative coach, I think every single person that you touch and every single place that you touch contributes to your life, contributes to the passport of your life. So yeah,
Totally agree.
I'm here to.
I totally agree with everything you're saying. And I want to hear, like, how did your journey start? So you're from the Canary Islands in the south of Spain. What made you want to like leave? Because a lot of us, we feel kind of, you know, we're maybe in our own countries, or we have explored, but now we're kind of like stuck again. You know, what was your journey like?
I think being born and raised in Gran Canaria, at the end of the day, is a small island, right? So you only see so much. You see the beach, you see palm trees, you see nature, which is incredible. It's one of the most beautiful destinations I've ever been to, and I'm fortunate enough to have been born there. I really recommend it to people. It's a massive digital nomad hub and spot right now. What inspired me to take action and leave was that hunger to want to see more, that hunger to want to taste all of life. I think, especially during COVID, a lot of people were traveling mostly in their minds, not so much physically, for us to say it like that. And we all had all kinds of thoughts, but that also provoked a lot of people to say, that's it, I've had it. I'm done with my 9 to 5. I'm done with this rat race. I'm done with this rut that I'm in. Let's take action and leave. You know, let's take action and live that best life now.
I feel that. Can anybody, if you feel that, if you feel you're done with the rat race, okay, I'm over the 9 to 5, I'm over this hustle bustle culture, put me in the chat, please. I think we can all resonate with that. I personally also left my 9 to 5 back in the US, and I went to Barcelona, Spain, like where you're at. So love that. Keep going. So that's what motivated you to want to leave, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's amazing that you're doing something like this, because at the end of the day, once you step outside of your comfort zone and once you step outside of what you know to be familiar, you discover not only new people, but also a new version of yourself. I think every single place that I've been to has given me something, right? It has given me something, and it's contributed to my, like I said, to the passport of my life. I believe each and every one of us is like a passport, and every place that we go to and every person that we meet in those journeys is a stamp. They're contributing to your life. Everyone's contributing to the passport of your life. And that same way, you're a stamp on their passport. The fact that they met you in that travel, wherever you were, in Bali, London, Japan, wherever you were, you left a print on their life. And I think the richness of connection that comes when you leave your comfort zone and you travel is just so expansive. You know, I recommend it so much to each and every one of you. It's a coaching program in itself. Let's call it that.
It's your own coaching program. It's like, wow, I love how you mentioned that. So what happened when you knew you wanted to go abroad? I think your first place you went to was Dubai. What was that transition like?
So it's interesting you asked that. Dubai is a very different culture. There's the religious and all the different aspects that comes with the culture. But it was definitely a big shift for me from an island boy to a city life. And once again, it was an incredible experience. The kind of people you meet, the kind of mindset they have, the pace at which they move as well. You discover new sides of yourself. You discover maybe the business shark version of you, or the entrepreneur version of you, or the creative version of you. And I think that's what Dubai did for me. It helped me understand that I can switch on different parts of myself that I don't even know existed.
I totally agree. So it's like your creative side was sparked. And I hear this from basically all of our experts, you guys, and welcome to all the people that are just joining us. We ask you to turn your video on if you can to be fully present. A lot of our experts that are coming on these next 2 days they all had similar experiences. They left their comfort zone and they've all created thriving businesses. So clearly, Avi, from this experience, like you've created a coaching business and you help people achieve their dreams. But that wouldn't have happened if you didn't go to Dubai and go break out of your comfort zone. So like so in terms of work, what were you doing at the time? Like, did you have a remote job? Were you working at corporate? Like, how did you find work when you moved abroad?
I think that's a great question. So for me, I knew that I wanted to move to Dubai. Let's say Dubai was the places that I've been to, and you can either sit and apply for jobs before going there, and that works for a lot of people. But something that I've realized is I need to be there in person. I think there's a different kind of magic when you're there in person and you've put yourself in that uncomfortable situation. When you put yourself in that moment where you're like, okay, I'm in a new city, I got to figure things out. I got to pick up things and just maybe go knock on doors, ask for a job and see what happens. I think there's a different kind of energy to that. You're in movement, you're there already, you're seeing the life that you want to create. And I know that for a lot of people to be able to take that first step, it can be daunting, right? Like, can I just pick up my stuff without any certainty of a job or certainty of anything? But I think this is the believe in yourself factor that comes in. If you're taking that leap of faith, you go all in. And you know that you're capable and you know that you'll be supported.
Definitely.
You know?
I totally agree. And there's a couple different people that are here. There's people that have remote jobs. There's people that have their own businesses. There's people that are about to retire. I know Eric, I was chatting with him earlier. He works at Warner Brothers and he's about to retire from LA here and they want to go to Portugal. But like, and some people who are more, analytical, they want to have everything planned. I need to find the remote job now, or I don't have the answers right now. So it's kind of overwhelming because when you can't like plan it to a T right this moment, but you're saying instead, like go over there, kind of like with your arms like this, open, surrendering, knowing that everything's going to work. That is also an option. Do you see both of them can work for people? Planning,
100%.
hardcore planning versus just throwing yourself into it. Like literally next week, somebody in here could say, I'm moving to Thailand. I think we were just talking with someone, Trinity, and she said, I'm considering literally buying a ticket to Thailand next week. Like that's also possible. So I would like you to elaborate on that, the whole planning part.
Oh, 100%. I think both sides of the spectrum are completely valid, right? I took that leap of faith in myself and I just went for it. But I understand, and I work with clients who are on the other spectrum as well, where uncertainty is just something they don't know how to cope with very well. And that's completely okay. It's a feeling, it's valid. Lack of clarity is a feeling, it's valid. And that's exactly where a coach can step in, or speaking to someone can step in, or coming to a summit like this can be motivating and encouraging because you break it down and you create a plan of action. You don't have to pack your bags just right now if that's not what you feel called to do, because you have responsibilities, a family, or whatever you want to do properly and construct properly. But with the right support as well, I think you can have a kick-ass plan to really make it happen if that's what you want. And I think I always say this, it comes down to feeling worthy. Do you feel worthy of living the best life in this human experience that you got in this time here? Do you feel worthy of that? And if you do, you take action.
Exactly.
You create that plan. You'll do whatever you want. You'll hire that coach to help you create the mindset and create the game plan to get to where you want to go. You take action because you know you're worthy. You know you deserve to see these places.
I agree. And the other thing is it seems very scary. Like, I mean, nobody likes people don't like change. We're creatures of habit. We like the same thing. When change comes, we're like, oh my gosh. And it seems like we're by ourselves. We could be moving with our families, but we have to do the heavy lifting and we have to plan it. Like I know Crystal, I was chatting with her a couple weeks ago before she joined the summit, and she wants to move from South Africa to London with her family. And it's overwhelming. And I totally get it. And it's something you do have to plan for if that's more of your, depending everybody's situation. And our goal here on the summit is to help you be able, we're going to share all our secrets. So the next 12 months, you guys can actually be living somewhere else, you know? So what were the things like you had to, when you just leapt into that, you just trusted, you went to Dubai, what happened? Like, what did you find there? How were you even able to find work if you're not a citizen? How did that whole thing pan out?
I think something that happens is you become very resourceful, right? You start thinking about, who do I know here? Who can I speak to? Who can I meet for a coffee? Who can I expand my mind with? You know, you become really, really resourceful when you put yourself in that situation. I think that's where our survival mechanism is actually really, really powerful. You want to see yourself thrive so much, you want to grow so much, so you can speak to people that are in the industry. I mean, I did all kinds of things. I literally put myself in a suit and knocked in offices just to get a job. I went into buildings and I went one by one on creative agencies that I found online, and I knocked on their door. I'm like, hey guys, I really believe in myself. I know I have extreme creative potential. You guys are going to miss out if you don't hire me. So like, let's go, like, let's create something epic together. And they might not reach out to you that week, but I'm sure, I kid you not, it happened to me. I got a job, and 2 weeks later, another agency called me and they said, we're opening our own agency. We want you.
Yeah.
Wow. It's just about going out there and
Doing it.
yeah, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable, but you have to remember your why. That's what you asked at the beginning of the summit. Why are you here?
Yeah.
Why
If
are you
if you haven't responded to that, like, why are you here? Tell us, you know, what's your vision? Why are you here? Do you want to move abroad? Do you want to take your business abroad? Do you want to not work so much? Tell us. Feel free to drop it in the chat. And to touch on what you said, Avi. So I don't know if you guys, I haven't really told anything about myself. I'm Shauna and I'm from LA, but I moved to Barcelona in 2016. And I actually did the same thing. I planned for it. Trust me. I was in my corporate job, 9 to 5. I was working 14-hour days. I was like, I can't keep doing this. And I wanted to get a master's. So I took the route of going to Barcelona and getting a master's. And that's how I did my whole visa situation. So if anybody has questions on how that works, feel free to ask later and I'll connect with you. But I also didn't have, I tried the job boards, and you know, back then it wasn't the same. Like there's so much remote work now. The future is freelance. The future is everything is online. I mean, can anybody drop in the chat me if you are working online right now? I'd just like to see everybody. But yeah, Avi's really cool. You guys should follow Avi on Instagram. Let me drop his Instagram in there. He puts some really inspiring stuff out there, and it hopefully will motivate you guys to take action. But when I went to Barcelona the first time, yeah, I did I had my certifications, I had my bachelor's degree, but I was finding it hard to actually like find work. And so when I went, I was like, okay, I'm just going to start emailing like interesting companies. And that's what I did. I actually did the same thing Avi did. I became very resourceful. I was like so committed that I wanted to find a job and be an expat that like I said, I was emailing, I was calling, and I actually ended up becoming a beach volleyball coach. So my background was I played Division I volleyball in college. So I actually emailed the Barcelona Beach Club, Susana Vega, she's the owner. And she was like, yeah, I'm actually looking for a beach coach. That was one of my main consistent jobs until I could find something better. So there's a lot that will happen when you just put yourself out there. And can you kind of touch about, you know, how about the community aspect, Avi? Like you're new. How do you like feel connection when you're moving to a new place? I think that's some of people's fears, is like leaving everything they know, all the people they know. And put me in the chat if that's you.
I think that's such a powerful question to ask. We're humans we want community. We want that tribe feeling. And actually, me and my boyfriend did a workshop exactly on that in Bali this time around when we went. We were there for a month, digital nomading, discovering life over there, and we did a workshop around finding your tribe, how to attract your dream clients, your dream relationships, your friends, especially when you're abroad. And I think a lot of that is, first of all, understanding who you are, right? And what's fun for you, not going to the typical kind of places that you feel like you're gonna find friends or events that are networking orientated. Going to fun experiences, like going to a ceramic workshop or going to a painting class or going to random meetups that you find that you're like, oh, this is something that I want to learn and I want to explore. And in the midst of you having fun, you start connecting with people. If you're having fun, you spread that ripple around you, and it's infectious. It's infectious, that energy. I think that's something that I do in Barcelona. I've been here for the past year nearly, and on and off we've been traveling abroad and moving around doing the digital nomad life. But something that I always remind myself to do here is to sign up to a bunch of Eventbrite and meetups and all these different kind of things and go meet people. Like, go add more stamps to my passport. Every person is a stamp to my passport. So every person I talk to is contributing to me. And eventually, whether that takes a week or a couple of months or whatever that is, you will find your tribe and you will find those people that feel like home to you, even when you are traveling around.
Right. That's so true. So you use Meetup, like in Spain and Europe, particularly, if you guys want to jot this down, meetup.com. It's really big. The private Facebook group. So like, I know I remember from Barcelona, there was like, you just really type in anything. Like there's a beach volleyball group, and then you just kind of have to go on there and search, and then you'll start getting these recommendations. What are the other ones you use? You use Eventbrite to connect with people?
Eventbrite, Meetup, Facebook's great as well, just like you said. And I think once you get added to these things and you go to one of them, you get added on WhatsApp groups, and then people invite you to events nonstop. I think it's just about going to one. It's just about going to one, becoming friends with the organizer, getting curious. I think that's something that you said at the beginning of this summit as well. Let's be curious. Let's be inquisitive. There's a world out there behind and besides the screen that we can go be curious about.
Exactly. Yeah, so true. And then another thing, it's like, well, everybody's kind of nervous because we think, okay, we're expats, we're from a different place. I'm not going to belong here. How am I going to find people like me? But you'd be so surprised at how many, I'm American from Los Angeles. Now there's not, the whole city is not going to be American, but there's going to be a small amount, or there's going to be a small amount of English people, and you will find those people. And it's kind of like when you're walking down the street, and this is how I met my husband, Dan. I was living in this, in Barcelona in a small little neighborhood, and nobody speaks, people speak English, but in this area I was living in, not a lot of people did speak English. And so when I heard English, I was like, oh, wow. And so I just started chatting with him and his English friends, and we're married now. I mean, things will happen and you will make those connections. So I would say just going to, like you said, going to those meetups, going to those places where things are happening, and that you'll attract it. So how have you, I want to talk about like your life that you've created now, like helping people. How did you discover that? Because you came from tech. Didn't you come from, no, you came from social media marketing, right? In Dubai.
Exactly.
You talk about the transition of like knocking on the doors. You got this agency job, which is like you're living your best life in Dubai with all the rich people that have tigers in their passenger seat. Did they actually have tigers? Did you see that?
In the car, in their houses, they do. I've never seen it on their passenger seats, but
I've heard about this. This is like my stereotype of Dubai. I need to get that out of my head. Okay.
I mean, people have all kinds of things. They have snakes at home, tigers, chameleons. Like, yeah, I don't think you're making it up. I think it's an actual fact. But to each their own. We all have our own kind of pets.
So how did you go from like the social media agency world to now like helping people achieve their dreams? Like, what did that look like?
Thanks for asking that. I think that's So I'll say when I was in Dubai, I was working for social media agencies, and we were working for restaurant brands, we were working for fashion brands, or hospitality brands. And what we were doing for them were social media campaigns, coming up with content for them, coming up with exciting events, connecting people, doing, getting influencers together as well, and really making a brand buzz in the city, really making it stand out. And something that I realized was the numbers game was too heavy for me, right? The likes, the followers, the comments, all of that in Dubai for me seemed a bit heavy, especially in my job. And something that I wanted to do was something with a little bit more meaning, something with a little bit more human connection. I think for me, being able to touch someone without touching them, touch their heart, touch their soul, touch their mind, be able to transform something within them or feel a little spark is so much more powerful than helping a restaurant. But that's my case. It doesn't have to be everyone else's. A lot of people can get a lot of sparks out of working for restaurants or brands or whatnot. I think the humanness of coaching is just such a beautiful experience. So when COVID hit, I think like a lot of us, we had lack of clarity. We didn't know what we wanted to do in our lives. And coaching sort of came to me, I'd say. It was sort of this, I felt a lot of positive, good energy. I felt really, really grateful for all the things in my life, but I felt a lot of pain in the world. I felt a lot of people felt lost, stuck, trapped, whatever it is that we want to call it. And I think I had the right kind of energy and the right kind of mindset and the right support as well from coaching programs to be able to guide and help these people to believe in themselves again, to not feel like just because they're trapped at home, they need to be trapped in their mind as well. There's endless possibilities to explore, endless things that you can do in this life and people that you can be, versions of you that you can be in this lifetime. So
I love that. And there's probably a lot of people in here. It's so exciting to see all of you. There's about 100 people in here so far, probably going to get more, but
it's amazing.
So, yeah, it's really exciting. I'm so happy you guys are here. What I was going to ask is there's a lot of people that are kind of at this point of their life where they're like, I've been doing this job for so long and I'm not feeling fulfilled. And maybe they want to pivot. Maybe they're like, I want to start a new business or shift jobs. Like what would be your advice to these entrepreneurs in here that they're not really feeling fulfilled and they want to start something new? Like what would be your secret, since it's called Untold Secrets, for the next 12 months? Like what steps could they take to really make this transformation happen?
I think that's a really great question. And I think more than giving advice, I'd ask a question here. I'd say, what's it costing you to stay exactly where you are right now? What's it costing you to stay in that place that you're in, that job that you're in, that situation that you're in? Are you overthinking constantly or scrolling and looking at other people's dream lifestyles and saying, when will my day come, and not taking any action to that? What's the cost of that? Like at the end of the day, you're given 20, 30, let's say 60 years of life, if you're lucky enough to live those years, maybe more if you're blessed. And in that short lifetime that you're here, why are you holding yourself back from everything that you can see and everything that you can be? What's keeping you there? Comfort, fear, responsibilities? Is it greater than seeing yourself like this? Like truly happy and truly shining and truly radiating. And what's the benefit of that for your family? If you're radiating and if you're in that positive surge of energy, if you're in that good flow, if you're living your dream life, if you're traveling, if you're launching your dream business and you're finally going for it and you're feeling that positive energy, what's that going to do for the rest of the world? For your wife, for your husband, for your children, for the people around you, for your community. That ripple is so powerful that you not taking action is actually not just holding yourself back from your power, but it's holding other people back from seeing the inspiration and doing the same thing.
Thank you, Avi, for being here. And I'm going to bring up Camila. Let's see.
Thank you so much for having me. And I've shared an updated link with you guys in the chat.